Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, coming in here to do the season finale of Queen Sugar. Season 4 of Queen Sugar. It was a really good episode. It kind of had us all over the place. I want to go ahead and get started. I have got Greenleaf loading for edit. Hopefully I can do this Queen Sugar minus the edits. I literally just turned the show off, so I feel like now's the time. Before I get going good, I would love to have you as a member of my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscription bell. Don't forget the thumbs up. It's just like saying, hey, Miss Honey. Don't forget to comment down below. You guys know we love the banter. Charley has gotten arrested. Arrested and accused of setting her own mill on fire. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. Now, you know this is coming on the heels of Micah saying he's not going to Harvard. He wants to go around there to Xavier. Okay, which is fine. Seems like now we got bigger fish to fry than worrying about if Micah going to this college or the other college. Well, Charley gets released. She gets home. She rallies up with Nova and has a plan. Meanwhile, Vi has gone and talked to Sam Landry. And Sam Landry reluctantly brings her all of the information they need to bring Francis down a peg or two. And he gets to talking. Now, see, some people thought that the information that Charley shared with Jacob Landry that got him to make this declaration publicly about his grandmother being black may have been the secret that Aunt Vi has on him. But that's not what it was. Apparently, her friend Betty and Sam Landry was sweet on one another, and she turned up pregnant. And Aunt Vi got her out of town, okay, and covered for him with his daddy, because if his daddy had known, being a deep-rooted down south racist, he'd have killed Sam Landry, okay, killed him dead. He wants to know how Betty is. I hadn't seen Betty in years. Well, what about her? Well, she went to Spelman, and I think from there she went to Horton. I was like, oh, Horton is a business school. And he seems proud. He seems proud to hear all of this, okay? And he tells her that if it wasn't for Vi saving him, his daddy would have killed him. That he glad that Francis didn't find out. Because, you know, Vi's like, well, you could have met with her. You could have talked to her. No, she better off. Well, you're an adult. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. If you want better, you do better. And you're right, but I'm glad I didn't tell Francis, because Francis would have ran and told my daddy quicker than God could get the news. Well, that's impossible, Sam Landry, but it's very convincing, isn't it? Okay, so and he would have cut me off. Okay, it's always about money with you, Sam Landry. All right. Then we see where Charley talking with Nova over to her house, and they trying to figure out what their next steps and what they gonna do and how they gonna get Charley off of it. Like, it is despicable to think that she would cut or burn down her own mill. Well, Aunt Vi comes in, she hugs Nova. Okay, come through change, come through evolution, come through forgiveness, come through redemption. Hugs Charley, and she gives her the paperwork. Charley takes half, she gives half to Nova. Nova looks through it, and she what? Charley looks through it. These are payments, these are payouts to Frank Miller. Okay, large payouts. Turns out they sending money to Frank Miller's offshore account. But this isn't enough, Aunt Vi. Where is plenty. Keep looking. Okay, how did you get this? Don't worry about it. Like I tell y'all, all sense ain't in one head. It's something to be said for experience, and the fact that I grew up around these here parts. Y'all forget about all that there. So she tells him, go through the paperwork, check it out, make sure it ain't nothing in there that you can't use to go ahead and seal the fate on Francis. And then we see where later on Francis and Charley meet up. But first, let's talk about Vi. Now, Vi does a good thing. We see her talking with Hollywood. It's so warm and kind. He's making her something to eat. They're just so in love. It's good to see them back here again. And he's still talking about opening his men's counseling center. And she wants him to maybe think about selling wings too. I'm just saying, Vi, you got Vi's Prize Pies and Dinah, and you want Hollywood to have real stop wing stop. Real stop and wing stop. Okay, all right, it's good. Then we see where Nova meets up with Calvin, and Nova and Calvin are going to move in together. And it's weird for me. One, I really like Nova's bungalow, but see, that bungalow is for one, I believe, and Nova's preparing for 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or 5. Okay, because the house is halfway between his children and the Ninth Ward. Okay, which is where she do a lot of her business. Okay, so it's good to see Nova shedding those old habits, the propensity to push love away when it encroaches too close. And he tells her that wherever we are together, that's where home is. And she was like, oh, smiled. And he said that you said that. She said, and I meant it. No, I mean it. Okay, and I want you to meet my family. See, because they all got together for the race, for the election race, and they're going to do that down at the diner. But let's go ahead and talk about the fact that she has got to first go and talk to Ralph Angel. But let's talk about Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel is at home playing with Blue. It's a very loving scene. He's at the farm. Darla pulls up, and they have decided that they are going to sit with Blue while he opens the gift from Papa. Now, this gift, you guys remember that they were throwing Blue a birthday party. And all the kids were outside when Papa Bordelon collapsed. And he never got the opportunity, because he never came home, to give Blue his gift. So this gift has been in the closet since Papa Bordelon died. Now, it's got to be some 2 or 3 years later now that Papa Bordelon has passed on, I imagine. And Blue is just now getting this gift. Well, they're going to open it with Blue together and just help him through this and talk to him. And she's also brought some groceries. She wants to cook for Ralph Angel, just as a thank you for all he's done for her through these trying times, And, he's fine. I want to cook for you. So they get in the kitchen and get to chit-chatting and talking, and she's smiling. Now, Darla has this thing where when she looks at Ralph Angel, she bites her bottom lip. She's always got that bottom lip turning, and she's looking at him. He's like, okay. And she's like, I want us to talk. Now, the night of the storm, we started talking, and we got interrupted because Blue called. But I want us to finish that conversation. He sits down, and she sits down, and he's okay. He's got his hand out on the table, and she creeps her little hand over there, and plays with his fingers a little bit. It's very cute. It's very affectionate. There's a lot of chemistry between these two characters. Well, she tells him, I want to finish that conversation. I want us to talk about it. And, you said that you could see us being back. They're like, what do you think about that? I want us to do that long term. And he talks about how, everything she went through, and how he realizes that he cares for her. And when he thinks about how she was violated and abused, and the relapse and all of that, and she pulls her hand back, she pulls away a little bit, because she's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. I mean, is that why you're here? Is because I'm a victim? I don't want you to see me as wounded and broken every time you see me. I don't want the fact that I have been scarred from something so horrible be the only thing that tethers us. And he says, well, I can't help it. I'm sorry. I do see you that way. And her head falls. And he says, well, he says, I'm sorry, I can't help it. He says, I see you better now, stronger now, more beautiful now than ever. And she looks up and she realizes, oh no, he's sure. He's sure that they have gone through the storm. And he is sure that now that he is on the other side of this thing, knowing all the horrible, ugly truths of it all, that he loves her now more than ever, that he sees her. Okay, he takes accountability, and she says, no, 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 I have to take accountability too. We both have to take accountability. I hurt you too. I was a lot of the reasons why you had to go through some of the things you were going through. Now remember, he was off to jail when she went and left her with Blue. They all go and open the present with Blue. And Blue realizes it's from Papa, and he is overwhelmed. He wants his mama to open the gift. And his mama opened the gift, and Blue, you really want to see this? And he looks in, it's a beach ball. It seemed like the simplest gift. But Papa Bordelon knew that Blue loved the water. He knew that he loved being in the water. And at towards the end of this episode, we get to see where Ralph Angel and Darla take Blue swimming. And he guards that ball and cherishes it because it has Papa's breath in it. And I was like, oh, for him, it's not just a simple ball. It's a piece of Papa that he wants to keep with him forever and ever. And it's just an amazing moment. It's the reason I fell in love with this show. These little moments, a lot of my most emotional moments are tied to Blue and Papa Bordelon's relationship. And for me, this makes everything else that we have seen go on in this season. This kind of neutralizes those pains, those angers, the angst that I had, the anxiety that I had about this family being splintered and shattered by the things that were said and the things that were written. And it was just a really beautiful moment. It was a really beautiful moment. And when he first got the ball and the beach ball and he was holding it close, he got instantly sad because he thought about how much he missed Papa. And it was just a moment. But when they were in that pool and he, wanted to keep the ball intact and protected because it had Papa's breath, I was not ready. It's a really, really beautiful moment, you guys. And if you have not seen the first episode of Queen Sugar, um, when the show first started off, do yourself a favor and go and see that episode. And not only will you see some of the best acting you have ever seen in your life, but also you will feel the love that is exuded through the acting. And I promise you, if it don't light your fire, your wood is more than wet. Okay, let's go on back and talk about the night of the election. So the night of the election rolls around. We see where they're getting everything together down at Vi's Prize Pies and Dinah, and we see in walks Nova. Nova walks in with Calvin, and she once again, Aunt Vi walks up and hugs her just as sweetly. And she shakes Calvin's hand. Nice to meet you, Calvin. Good to see you. She goes on back. This is my sister, Charley Bordelon. And good to meet you. Nice to finally see you. Okay. And it's a good moment. And then he sees Micah. Now, you know he done met Micah before when Micah went over there to Nova's house to take her house keys back after she came from off tour. And he knows that Micah's got a bit of hostility for him. Okay? And so he goes over and ingratiates himself with Micah. He is not intimidated by the fact that Micah is giving him stink face. And he doesn't overcompensate by being corny and goofy. He just asks him, how you doing? Fine. Micah don't stop what he doing. I heard about school. That was really, really brave of you making that decision. And Micah look up. Okay, come on with it, Calvin. What you got? I don't know if it was all that. No, it was brave. It was brave, and I admire you for that. I don't know. Realize I don't think I would have had that much bravery. Yeah. Well, I just hope I do well. He said, "You will. You will. It's already done. You're gonna do beautifully." Micah shakes his hand and realizes in this moment that all white folks ain't bad. All white folks that are cops ain't bad. Okay, and everybody has to be treated individually. It is the gift and the curse of a thing. Okay, because on one hand it seems unfair that you got to love those that look like your enemy, even when they not. But at the same time, it builds character when you deal with people on an individual basis, based upon how they move. Okay, so that is a good moment. All the while we see Nova looking at Ralph Angel. Just keeps giving Ralph Angel the eye. She wants to talk to him, but she knows she can't force it right now because he might buck out on her, right? At the same time, Charley hears that Jacob is 3% ahead in the race. And the crowd gets sad and Charley rallies them. She tells them we can't give up now. Okay, she talks about a woman who was just a regular old everyday citizen in St. Joe's Parish, and when she found toxic waste in her backyard, she said, you know what, I may be ordinary, but this is not an ordinary situation, huh? And she fought, no matter what. Fought, no matter how they told her no and turned her away. And we are just like this brave woman. We will not give up. We will continue to fight until justice is done. News team breaks in. Okay, and we see everybody's all around. Guess who's there? Ralph Angel. He got Darla with him and Blue. Now this is the first time we done seen Darla at a family event in a minute. We got Nova over here and she got Calvin. I'm sure Kiki is there with Micah somewhere. Of course Vi and Hollywood standing there as host. All the family is there. Prosper is there. Okay, when the news breaks in, breaking news, we are calling the city council race for Charley Bordelon. Oh, everybody celebrates. Everybody is hugging and celebrating and rejoicing. We pulled it off. We won. And it, for me, seems so easy. it's a little too easy. Huh? I'm thinking this. I'm thinking this. I feel like, golly. I mean, we had this little arrest in the beginning, but, it's all just falling into place. We got happiness and love and joy and redemption, forgiveness, huh? Reuniting, revival of the spirit, rebel for a cause. Shout out to Micah for knowing what he wants. It's all just a little too easy. We know from watching seasons of the Bordelon that ain't nothing easy for the Bordelons. Ain't nothing. They got to scrimp and scrap and fight for every little bit of happiness and joy and peace that they get in this world. So we know something is afoot. What? We do not know. Okay? Charley is happy. It is a beautiful moment. And the next day, we get to see Nova go up and see Ralph Angel. Oh, it's time. It's time to make amends. Now, I've mended fences with everybody. Everybody, including the matriarch of the family, Aunt Vi. Well, if she can tackle Aunt Vi, she can certainly win over Ralph Angel. So he says, what are you doing here, Nova Bordelon? You know how he talk. What you doing here, Nova Bordelon? Ralph Angel, I apologize. I came to say that I am sorry. I was wrong for what I did. He goes and sits down. You don't want to hear it. Don't try to prick my heart, Nova. Huh? Don't do it. He girds himself up. You know his jaw get real tight in this area. And he get to clenching. And she says, there's a reason I can't stay away, Charley. Ralph Angel. There's a reason I can't stay away. Okay? I found out from my cousin that Mama's buried on this land. Mama's not buried here, Nova. She was cremated. I found out from her cousin that she wasn't. That she asked Daddy to bury her here on this land. Okay, because that way she would always be near him. And she told him not to tell us because she didn't want us to be tied to the land and afraid to leave it. I don't know where she's buried, but she buried somewhere here on this land. And it stuns him long enough for her to get a little bit closer. She goes in her bag and she pulls out her mama's diary, her mama's journal. Okay. And he unwraps it from this beautiful cloth. Y'all know Nova's all about textures and tones and colors and beautiful pieces, and she has delicately wrapped her mother in this beautiful fabric. And as Ralph Angel unfolds each side of the fabric and opens it up and sees this beautiful leather bound book, unties the book and opens it, and he sees his mother's family name, Lavoisier. Rubs his fingers across the letters. He opens that book up. Nova already told him it's Mama's book. It's in Mama's handwriting. And he sees immediately as he skims the pages, he can't help but see Angel Cream. Angel Cream is an antibiotic cream that his mama made up with these special flowers that grew on the land. And she used that salve to put on their wounds. And he also acknowledges that, I remember Angel Cream, she used to put this on my cuts and bruises and all of that. Nova turns the book around and she reads how her mother wrote about the fact that one night Nova is the one that put the cream on Ralph Angel. And Mama talks about, she reads her mama's words. I'm sure he heard it in his mama's voice. Okay. Nova's a lot like her mama. A lot like her mama. I'm sure he was feeling something in that moment as he was trying to continue to stoke the embers of anger. Remember he said he hope he angry forever. Okay, but when he read his mama's words, boy, I tell you what, them words tore away, okay, and began to douse the fires of that seething anger that he had been stoking and throwing logs of bitterness on all this time, baby. Talked about how Ralph Angel would follow Nova around and how Nova would always take such good care of him so tenderly. He follows her, he loves her, he thinks that she's something, magical and special. The two are inseparable. Okay. 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 And baby, when I tell you that fire was like, when she got to that point, I said, "Oh, them embers are struggling. They struggling. They struggling." And so he looks and he sees a beautiful flower drawn, and he said this was her favorite flower. And Nova said that's what she made the angel cream for. And he says, I seen it growing around the farm here. And she said, really? Where? I can't say where, because I was playing with Blue. I don't know exactly where, but I seen a whole bunch of them growing somewhere. And she said, well, where could it be? He said, I don't know, Nova. I got over 800 acres. I say, Ralph Angel, if you don't go on, okay, and build mogul and run your family farm, okay, over 800 acres. That's a lot of land. That's a lot of land. Okay, that's a huge part of the parish, I'm sure. All right, so they stand together and look over the porch railing out into the cane field. And she said, you know what? I think I know how I can find it. They both take a deep breath. And in that moment, those flames of anger, they finally lose their grip and go out. And he hugs Nova up and brings her close. Healing. Okay? She told him. Okay, that this is why her mama visited. Her mama was visiting her because she didn't want them to be broke apart. She didn't want them to fight. She wanted them to stand together and realize that they are a family. The only way they gonna defeat these Landrys is if they stand together. But I've said it for several seasons now, but okay, Nova has said it, so this makes it somehow more real, right? All right, so let's move on. Charley goes to visit Frances down in the country club, and she has taken the liberty of ordering Charley an iced tea. Congratulations, Charley. You've won. Exactly. I never really had a lot of faith in Jacob. I tried to get behind it, but now that I think about it, he really wasn't ever going to do what I needed him to do. But let's talk about how I can help you. Now that you have won the city councilship and she got them blood red vampire lips, huh? And she's talking. You can almost see that tongue just as she talks. And let's talk about how you can maybe get some revenue. Okay, get some things together where you can rebuild your meal. If you work with us to make sure that this road comes in smoothly, you can really make this very lucrative for yourself. She said, oh, Charley said, it hadn't even been 24 hours and you already blackmailing. You already trying to bribe me. That's what she says. Okay, I'm not trying to bribe you. I know what you did, Frances. I know you paid off Frank Miller. I know he was working as your pawn, okay? I know that he's the one that paid the two boys, namely Joaquin. Now, she talked to Joaquin down at the election party. Asked him how he was doing. He was barely holding on, but I'm holding on. Well, I want you to know, Joaquin, my lawyers and I are working very, very hard to make sure that we get your daddy and your brother back, and we getting real close on it. He said, I surely appreciate that, ma'am. Now, Joaquin and another boy is who Frank Milk paid to go and set fire to the mill. So not only did he vandalize Aunt Vi's diner, but he also is the one, with a friend's help, who set fire to the doggone mill. And now they are saying that it was Frank Miller that it paid them to do it. And they testifying to that. They making statements. And Francis looks stunned. Where are you getting this? This is preposterous. She said, oh, it may be preposterous, but it is so. And I believe you gonna get your day in court. Why I will never income the police. Now I know this, that the police that have come to see Charley all have on brown uniforms. Here we got police that come in. They look like the Mounties. They got big wide brim hats. They got blue, not Mounties, state troopers. They got blue uniforms on and a yellow patch emblem. I said, oh, I wonder if these are state police. And the man said, ma'am, you are under arrest for bribery and conspiracy to commit and all of these things. And she was like, I cannot believe. She is devastated. Everybody is looking. I mean, after all, we are at the country club. And when I tell you that Charley was so clean, she had on look like a blue, it may have been a black suit. And it had this collar that came here with 2 buttons and then a white interior with the blue on the outside. It was so structurally beautiful, and it fit high up on Charley's neck. You know, she was looking very Victorian, and it was tailored and cut. It is really good that when you see your enemy go down, that you look good watching them go. Well, the man was going to put handcuffs on him like they did Charley. And she said, if you put those handcuffs on me, you will regret it. Now, she already threatened him. I want the name of your superior. And Charley looked like, I know y'all ain't finna let her walk out of here without them handcuffs. I want to see her in handcuffs. Well, they let her go on out, but I tell you, she walked through a column of shame because everybody was standing up. And she walked out. I said, boy, oh boy. Bravo, Charley. Bravo. Okay? So Frances gets escorted out so fast she leave her phone there on the table. At the same time, she gets a text. And that text is from Parker Campbell. She wants Frances to come and see her. Now, maybe it was a text for Charley. For Charley to come see her. I'm just saying. Well, Charley gathers her things and heads immediately down to see Parker Campbell. Okay? It's just a storefront building, you know, a shell company. She goes in, and the reception says, Miss Parker Campbell is excited to meet you. And she's just like, okay. She whistles, stop clean, baby. She's storming that office. It's a white man sitting down, and it's a black woman turned towards a file cabinet. We don't really know what color she is, really, but from the back, her hair, the thickness of it, I assume it's a black woman. Parker Campbell. She looking at the white man. Okay, it's good to finally meet you. And the woman turns around. It's Steen. Y'all remember Steen? Old Steen is from Underground. Okay, she was one of our favorite characters in Underground, and she also played now on How to Get Away with Murder as one of the attorneys. I'm assuming being on this show, she won't be on How to Get Away with Murder for long. Well, Parker Campbell lets her know that she's the company fixer. She works for the Benedictine organization. I said Benedict. As in Arnold? Oh, okay. And Charley is stunned that it's a woman, that it's a black woman. Okay, Parker Campbell, the name could have went anyway, but clearly this is a woman. And it's a black woman. She's a little dazed, you know what I'm saying? It's like she took one to the head. Like she know that it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but she not sure what year it is. Like she's a little stunned. And the woman tells her, I'm a fixer. Oh, you're a lobbyist for the company. No, I make things go away. I make sure that things run smoothly. I supervise and orchestrate things to the benefit of my company. Now, I want to work with you, Charley. If you work with us, you'll have a say as to where and how and when, and you have a little bit more guidance as it pertains to this highway. A little bit more say so for your cooperation. How dare you? Why dare you? It's Charley. Why I would never. Okay. And she mentions her father. Okay. Well, I'm assuming that the reason why they kept everything quiet is because of who her father is. She wants Charley to meet the father, the head of the Benedictine corporation, and ultimately the person who has given her carte blanche, Parker Campbell, carte blanche to wreak havoc and run through for the benefit of the company. Door opens, in walks Sam Landry. Sam Landry is Parker Campbell's daddy. When Sam Landry was sitting in that diner, acting like he was scared as he could possibly be of the secret that Vi had, when he sat there and in that diner and gave Vi that information on Frances and acted as if he had regrets and remorse for not rearing and raising his own daughter because she was from a black woman. He was lying. He was acting. He was playing a role to position everybody so that he can ultimately get what he wanted, which was his sister gone. And he thanks Charley. Thank you so much for handling that messy business with my sister. I knew I had to keep my daughter from her. I knew that with, her venomous ways, it was the best thing for me to keep my daughter out of St. Joe's Parish and away from my sister. I appreciate you helping me take her out at the knees. But we gonna need you to give us your cooperation so we can run roughshod all over St. Joe's Parish. And ultimately you'll end. Charley said, you got to be out of your goddamn mind. I would never. You have to know that I'm going to do what they elected me to do, which is fight you all and you're fracking. You're devouring and tearing and ripping up the land and driving through your land. I am going to fight it. And listen, Parker, a.k.a. Steen, stands up so close to Charley Bordelon's face and she tells her, then we'll take your land, okay? We'll dig it up and frack it up and drive right through it. She walks around Charley with a half a turn. Now, when Sam Landry came in the door, Charley stood up like, oh no, what kind of witchcraft? What kind of witchcraft is this? So she's still stunned. She's still reeling. Her mind trying to process all the different ways they have lied and orchestrated and drove them into different positions and decisions to get them in a place where they got exactly what they want. She's trying to wrap her mind around all of this. And so when Parker takes that short turn around her, she said, I've already drawn up papers for y'all to vacate the land so I can get the fracking started, so I can get this highway going. So y'all, you done drew up papers to consume and take every inch of their land. Under what how do you come in and steal 800 acres of land so that you can tear it apart, so that you can neutralize the soil so that nothing will grow, so that you can plant businesses on it? The hell you will. The hell you will, Parker. Charley said, over my dead body. I wish you would. Okay? And then we see where Ralph Angel and Nova done went to talk to Prosper, because Prosper got some little bit more information. They talked to him about how their daddy would call when he would be depressed, and they would walk the land. Did y'all walk one place in particular more than others? Prosper remembers. Okay, he can't believe that the mama Trudy is buried on the land. He can't believe it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe when Daddy would stand and talking to the fields, he thought that Daddy was talking to the himself. But Prosper say, well, I mean, people, it ain't a bad thing. No, we think he was talking to Mama. Okay, Prosper stunned. Well, they find the place, and the place is full of flowers. It is flowers everywhere. Where they put a headstone there. Okay, a beautiful white marble headstone with a shiny black face, and etched into that it talks about her truly being a loving wife and mother and friend and healer. And they all gather and hold hands and have a moment of tribute for Trudy. Okay, and as Nova talks, we see Ralph Angel and Darla hugged up in a position of love and strength and family. We see Hollywood and Vi hugged up in strength in a position of love and family. We get to see Micah and Kiki hugged up and loved up in a position of family and young love. Okay, and then we end with this half circle. Y'all remember all white. When they come together, they wear all white. And this tribute to Trudy. And they talk about, in a voiceover, how this is family. Family worth fighting for. Family that we don't lay waste to. We don't hurt. We don't tear each other asunder. We will never again be divided. We will stand together and we will fight for this land. Okay, and that's Queen Sugar. That is season 4. It was a tumultuous, rocky road, you guys, but it was a good season. What do y'all think about this whole Parker Campbell, Sam Landry situation? What y'all think about Aunt Vi not knowing? She said she hadn't seen Betty or this child in 15 or so years. I mean, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. Oh, we guessed. We guessed, and we guessed that, but we was wrong. What do y'all think about this outcome? What do y'all think about Darla and Ralph Angel getting back together? What do y'all think about Nova and Calvin taking this step to move in together? She seems fully committed. What do y'all think about Trudy being buried on that land and the fact that they put a headstone down? I would think that not knowing where she was buried would be more of an asset to the family than knowing where she is buried or letting other people know that they know where she is buried. But at the same time, if you can draw up papers to steal 800 acres of land right up under from up under this family, then you don't have no problem, okay, bringing in trucks and running all over Trudy's gravesite and digging all up and through while you frack. Y'all tell me what you think. Was it me, or was Sam Landry and Parker Campbell a scary, scary duo? Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. That is season 4 of Queen Sugar. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah!